Hey guys, so first off, I want to give a shout out to Akupara Games. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I'm sorry, but I wanted to thank them for this review copy. It really means a lot for the channel. I'm going to admit to y'all, I've been really worried about this practice. I mean, this is my first time having the opportunity to review a game early for my channel. And while I do think that it's an extremely important part of game reviewing in terms of relevance as well as consumer friendliness, I'm kind of terrified for the first time that I get to play a game early that I absolutely hate. But we're going to cross that bridge when it comes to that, because if anything, I'm always going to be fully transparent with you guys. Luckily, though, we are not crossing that bridge today because holy shit, guys, this game is fucking awesome. Grime Colors of Rot will be releasing on consoles on the 15th of this month. It will include the base game, which was released at the end of last year on Steam, as well as the new free DLC that's dropping with the console release worldwide. So let's get to it. Grime is a game created by Clover Bite. Don't ask me anything about these developers. I fucking searched everywhere and I couldn't find anything about them except their Twitter, and they're some genuinely funny people, so go follow them. Grime, like all good Souls-likes, allows the story to take a back seat and leaves room for so much interpretation. But I'm going to do my best to give you a rundown of what I think the game is about. So you play as Endgiver in a world of stone and clay, brought to life from the breath of the mother, surrounded by denizens obsessed with perfect proportions of their body in an attempt to be what vision they think life is meant to be. If that sounds strange as fuck to you, that's because it is. The game's story that's weaved throughout has religious and ancient undertones to it and a deeper meaning to grasp, but it's all told through context and interpretive dialogue that at the end of the day only matters if you want it to matter, which in my opinion is the best type of storytelling. As with any good Metroidvania, the characters you meet throughout are charming and funny, and when the story finally does come to a crescendo, like pieces to a puzzle, the full image of what you're doing starts to vaguely make sense. And there's so much beauty in it that I think if you do play this game, it's worth exploring further the many fan theories on Reddit. Gameplay in Grime doesn't reinvent the wheel when it comes to Souls-likes or Metroidvanias, but there are some really unique and meaningful twists. First off, you don't lose your souls in the game upon death, or as it's called in Grime, your mass. Instead, you lose what's called Ardor. Ardor increases the amount of experience you get from killing normal enemies, as well as once you unlock a certain trait, you can use Ardor as a damage buff as well. You have two methods of healing. The first is going to be your orange bar at the top left that only refills when doing a timed parry on an enemy. As well as there are these creatures that basically are like dung beetles in Dark Souls, and after killing enough of them, you're able to get potions that refill at Grime's versions of bonfires or checkpoints. There's a ton of consumable items that give different buffs, as well as single-use weapons. And speaking of weapons, there are a ton of fucking weapons in this game. I was so surprised to see the variety here. And you have the ability to equip and use all of the weapons, regardless of if you have the stats for them, at the price of a Steam damage penalty. But it at least allows you to try out weapons before you waste your time on a build that doesn't fit your playstyle. Last but not least, one of the probably coolest features of the game is the hunting aspect of the gameplay. You'll find extremely strong and varied prey throughout your journey that, once killed and absorbed, allow you to spend points for attributes based off the adversary that you killed. In terms of performance, the game plays extremely well on the PS5. There were a few load glitches, and I did have one crash at the end of the game after beating the final boss that made me have to refight him, so just be aware of that, but at least it didn't soft lock me out of the game, and nothing that ever took away my enjoyment. In terms of complaints, I really only have a few to speak of. One is the beginning does start off pretty slow, as well as there's a mission towards the end of the game that had me backtracking for at least an hour because apparently instead of going to the marker on my map where it's telling me to go, I was supposed to go all the way to the top of the map to fight a boss, to unlock an ability, to then go back down. It just really hurt the pace, and I think there should absolutely be a change of where they put that marker so people don't walk around as aimless as I did. All in all, Grime is a superb Metroidvania that deserves to be mentioned with the greats. The platforming is excellent, the mini-map is readable and detailed, the bosses are tough as nails, and the DLC that's included in the release of the console version adds a ton of quality of life improvements, new areas to explore, and even more batshit crazy bosses than the main game. That makes this the best time to jump in, hands down. And I'd be a fool to not mention the music in the game. It's nothing short of epic. The game's a 9 out of 10. Take it or leave it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to leave at the end of this all the notes on what to expect with this DLC release. I mean, I didn't feel like it needed a whole review just for the DLC because it's kind of interwoven through the main game. You'll see when you play. It's really cool. Like I said, the bosses are awesome. Tell me what you guys think of Grime if you've played it, what you think of the footage you've seen. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, all that good shit. Peace out.